So our subject is data engineering, and in today's video we'll be discussing the topics from Unit 2, that is designing good data architecture, principles of good data architecture. We'll start with this concept, and for this we are referring the book Fundamentals of Data Engineering by Joe Rees and Matt Housley. This is the book and this is the chapter, Designing Good Data Architecture. So we'll start with understanding what is data architecture. Okay. For understanding data architecture, let us begin our understanding of enterprise architecture. This will frame the definition of data architecture. What is enterprise architecture? Enterprise architecture has many subsets such as business architecture, technical architecture, application architecture, data architecture, and so on. The definition of enterprise architecture is given by different thought leaders like Togav, Gartner, Iebook. Will refer the same definitions. As per Togav's definition, the term enterprise in the context of enterprise architecture denotes an entire enterprise. It consists of information and technology services, processes, infrastructure, or a specific domain. The architecture crosses multiple systems, multiple functional groups within the enterprise. Gartner's definition. Enterprise architecture is a discipline for proactively and holistically leading enterprise response to disruptive forces by identifying and analyzing the execution of change toward desired business vision and outcomes. It delivers value by presenting business and IT leaders with signature-ready recommendations for adjusting policies and projects to achieve targeted business outcomes that capitalize on relevant business disruptions. Iebook's definition. Iebook stands for Enterprise Architecture Book of Knowledge. Here, the definition says that enterprise architecture is an organizational model, an abstract representation of an enterprise that aligns strategies, operations, technologies to create a roadmap for success. If we extract few common threads and keywords from these definitions of enterprise architecture, what pop out is change, alignment, organization, opportunities, problem solving, migration. The author's definition of enterprise architecture is derived from these common keywords. What this definition says is that enterprise architecture is the design of systems to support change in the enterprise, achieved by flexible and reversible decisions reached through careful evaluation of trade-offs. As we had agreed upon, to understand data architecture, we need to understand enterprise architecture. That's what we have done just now. Let us come to the definition of data architecture by various thought leaders. Togav definition says a data architecture, the definition is as follows. A description of the structure and interaction of the enterprise, major type and sources of data, logical data sets, physical data sets, and data management resources. Damas Diambach definition of data architecture is as follows. Identifying the data needs of the enterprise, regardless of the structure, and designing and maintaining the master blueprint to meet those needs. Using master blueprints to guide data integration, control data asset, and align data enhancements with business strategy. The author's definition derived from this is data architecture is the design of systems to support the evolving data needs of an enterprise, achieved by flexible and reversible decisions reached through a careful evaluation of trade-offs. We know that data architecture is a subset of enterprise architecture, and below that we have data engineering architecture. Data engineering architecture comprises of systems and frameworks that make up the key sections of the data engineering life cycle. Now, coming to the other aspects of data architecture, we should be aware of operational and technical architectures. Operational architecture consists of functional requirements, processes, technology, people. What business processes does the data serve? How does the organization manage data quality? What is the latency requirement? Technical architecture encompasses how data is ingested, stored, transformed, and served along the data engineering lifecycle. Now, what is a good data architecture? According to Grady Booch, architecture represents the significant design decisions that shape a system where significant is a measure by cost of change. Data architects aim to make significant decisions that will lead to good architecture at a basic level. Good data architecture serves business requirements with a common, widely reusable set of building blocks while maintaining flexibility and making appropriate trade-offs. A bad data architecture is authoritarian and it combines bunch of one-size-fits-all decisions into a big ball of mud. Agility is the foundation for good data architecture. Good data architecture should be flexible and easily maintainable. It evolves in response to the changes. So the world is a dynamic entity and pace of change in the data space is accelerating. Last year's data architecture that served you well might not be sufficient for today, let alone next year. Bad data architecture is tightly coupled, rigid, overly centralized, uses wrong tools, hampers development, and change management. You should have reversibility in mind when designing your architecture. The undercurrents of the data engineering lifecycle also form the foundation of good data architecture. What are the undercurrents? Security, data management, data operations, data architecture, orchestration, software engineering. Coming to the principles of good data architecture, what AWS well-architected framework suggests is a six-pillar principle: operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, cost optimization, sustainability. Google Cloud's 5 principles for cloud-native architecture are as followed: design for automation, be smart with state, favor managed services, practice defense in depth, always be architecting. Now, the author's principles of data engineering architecture are: choose common component wisely, plan for failure, architect for scalability, architecture is leadership, always be architecting, build loosely coupled systems, make reversible decisions, prioritize security, embrace finance. So this is a small beginning for the topic, designing good data architecture and principles of good data architecture. We'll stop here. Thank you.